Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's pretty gorgeous here this morning. I'm out on a run. The sun just came up. I think it was like 10 or 15 minutes ago. And I'm on this run. It's a Tuesday. And I'm thinking about just all that's been going on. My schedule has slowed down a little bit over the last week, which has been really, really, really hard for me. And so I get into this state, and I'm just going to be honest and real with you guys. I get into this state of like, hey, am I actually, like, is what we're doing actually working? And I know that's kind of a silly question sometimes to ask, and it's kind of a silly thing to talk about. It's a silly thing to just kind of bring up in my mind, but I have to, because if something isn't working, then maybe it's broken, or maybe it just needs to be fixed. And when you analyze everything and look at everything and really take a minute to slow down and stop and just look at something, then sometimes the flaws come out, sometimes the ugliness comes out, sometimes the honesty comes out. And so I'm running, I'm thinking, I'm getting myself a little worked up, and at the end of the day, I think I'm just gonna keep on going, right? So of course we're gonna keep on going, but I'm presented with the newness of this morning, the newness of Jesus, his promises, his hope, his care for us, his mercy for us, his grace for us, his compassion for us, his love for us. And so part of me rests in that, but the other part of me has a really unsettled feeling, because I'm like, hey God, this is all incredible, it's beautiful, the slowdown is what it is, but what's next? And maybe what's next isn't the right question. But as someone who's been doing this full time now for 3 years, for me, the question always is, what's next? What's going to happen next? Where do we go next? How do we move next? What's God going to say next? And sometimes God is just silent for a period because he wants us to just rest in him, have more faith, build our faith muscle, right? Our trust muscle, and then ultimately surrender more to him. So I'm saying all this because I think maybe some of you guys in this community are feeling somewhat like this. So you haven't found a way to actually put it into words, but together, I think we can rally around each other, rally around the feelings, the thoughts that we have, to kind of lean more into Jesus and just say, okay, God, what is next? But is that the right question, right? Is the right question what's next, or is it, I don't even know, another question to ask? Where do we go from here? Are we comfortable here? Is this the right place to be? What is next year going to look like? Because I'm already starting to plan for next year, and I'm like, well, hey, God, what is next year going to look like? We have 3 shows booked for next year. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's not live events. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm just literally just being honest, and just trying to figure out where this is all going to go. So that being said, here's what I'd love for you guys to do. Here's the exercise to do today. In the comments of this video, just tell me how this has all affected you, whether it be the devotions that we send out on a Saturday morning, whether it be the podcasts that come out on Tuesdays, the worship on Monday nights, the Bible studies on Wednesday nights, or maybe it's the membership that you're a part of. How has that affected or changed your life? How has that really worked in your life, grown in your life? And I'm not looking for short, like, yeah, this is great answers. I'm looking for long, thought out, drawn out answers, because I want to see, this is going to do 2 things for me. One, it's going to just encourage me to keep this whole thing going, right? So that's certainly part of it. But 2, it's going to give me ideas on, okay, if this affected this person in this way, then there's more that we can do in that area to affect more people in that way. Does that make sense? So I'm just looking for some honesty here. I've got a song on the new record called Honest, and the basic premise of the song is like, I'm just being honest. Does God really give us all of this stuff? And the answer is yes, but for our human minds, sometimes it's really, really hard for us to even begin to comprehend His goodness, His grace, His mercy, His love, all of this stuff. So I just want us all to be on the same page, and I want us all to encourage each other with thoughts of how our little community here has changed and affected your life. So here's what this looks like for me. It's a comment, yes, but it's also a real analyzation of what's happened in this past year, what it's all looked like from my perspective, and then how do we make it better if it needs to be made better. I always think that things need to be made better. So, and here's what I'd love for it to look like for you. You don't just comment in the comments below, but you actually take 15 minutes or a half an hour, whatever it takes, and really think about it. Think about like what this ministry, the messages, or maybe not even that, like just think about how God has been working in your life over the last year. And if that answer is God hasn't been working in my life over the last year, that's a fine answer. It's okay to say that. All right, this is a no judgment place. We're not looking for like, oh, super Christians. That's not what this is about, because we're not that. But maybe the answer is, okay, God hasn't been working in my life. How do I find more of Him in my life? Great answer. Or maybe the answer is, okay, God has been working a little bit in this area, but there's this other area that I'm not willing to even venture into with Him, and that's okay too. Like, those are all okay, because I'm not even going to get to some of the ideas that I have for next year, okay? I'm just trying to figure out what is best for all of us, and what it's going to look like, and how it's going to work, and who God is going to be in our lives, and who we're going to let Him be. Because it comes down to, okay, God, who are you in my life, right? How are you working in my life? And it's not, God, what can you do for me? That is such a tough concept to overcome, right? Our study on prayer got into this a lot. The prayer isn't like, hey, God isn't just this vending machine that we go up to and we say, hey, God, how can you work in my life? What can you do for me? Here's my laundry list of things that I want you to do for me today. And so many of us get so stuck in that prayer life where we're just like, God, I need this, I need this, I need this. I find myself getting stuck in that all the time. God, I need this, I need this. God, help me with this. God, work through my life with this. And I'm trying to shift the posture a little bit and just say, God, your will be done in all of it. What does that look like as I seek you every single day? And so maybe I'm rambling. I'm sorry if I am, but I'm just trying to come to grips with all of this and turn this into something that's actually going to really work for a lot of people. So, okay, let me stop talking and let me let you guys start to think. So think on this, okay? Think on like, what does this look like in your life over the last year, right? How has God moved and worked in your life over the last year? And how is what we're doing here, how has it changed your life? And maybe it's not like how this ministry has changed your life, but how has God worked through the worship, the Bible studies, the devotions, all that we've been doing, how has he worked through your life? And have you seen a difference? Yeah, let's make it that. So take the time, really think about it. Maybe journal. Maybe just, I know I'm asking you to dig deep here, but that's what we need right now. We need to dig deeper and deeper and deeper because, look, our little motto for this community is we are a community that's desperately seeking Jesus. And you can't desperately seek Jesus with a 2-minute devotion every morning. That doesn't work. So where is this going to give in my life? Where's it going to give in your life? What are we going to give up so that we can have more of Jesus in our lives? And it's going to shake things up and it's going to mess things up a little bit in our lives, in our hearts, in our minds, in our relationships, in all of that stuff. But at the same time, I think it's a beautiful and wonderful way of breaking down what God is trying to do in our hearts, in our minds, in our souls, in our lives, and just allowing him to work. Allowing the faith, allowing the trust, allowing the surrender, allowing Jesus to move in us. And so that's what I'm asking you to do today. Okay, this is a little bit of a different devotion. We're not like diving into some teaching in the Bible, which is always a pleasure and always an amazing thing to do. But today it's more about, let's just look back what's happened here. Okay? So that's what I'm asking you to do. Sound good? I'm going to do it myself over this next week or so. I'm really going to be leaning into this idea, this thought, like, hey, God, where do you want this to go? Who do you want this to be with, right? There's certain people that don't even know about this ministry yet that need it. And there's certain people that you know in your life that you haven't had a minute to talk to yet or haven't had the courage to talk to yet about what we're doing, because it's uncomfortable. And again, that's okay. There's no pressure here. But I'm just praying that God takes us all on this journey with him. So, good morning. Welcome to it. Maybe this is a day that maybe this realization and this journaling and this deep, deep honesty will take you to a new place in your relationship and your walk with Jesus. Maybe it'll frustrate you more. Maybe it'll get you discouraged. But I'm here to say that we're here. All of us are here in this community. We're all here to walk into this and through this together. So send me your ideas. Send me your thoughts. Send me your frustrations. Send me your prayer requests. Send me all of that stuff and more. Let's just get the junk out there and make it happen. All right? Thank you guys for being here. It's been amazing to kind of just do this with you and be involved in this with you. And our membership is an incredible place to just be involved. And you can be a part of it if you want. Right? That's maybe that's the first step in. I'm not going to belabor the point. I'm not going to talk about it too much today, but joindaysband.com is where we go to kind of get this all kick-started and get this all moving. So, okay, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to continue my reflection. Hopefully this means something to you. Hopefully this gets you thinking, gets you moving a little bit. And I just pray for all of us today that God would just teach us and show us where it's all going. Okay? Amen, guys. We'll see you on the next one.